And welcome to In-Game Chats for Saturday, October the 27th, 2018. Season 12, Episode 39. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And welcome to the show, everybody. Turn my headphones up just a bit there, which actually affects the audio that goes out over the stream as well. But, still under the weather a little bit. Still getting over what I was coming down with last week.
So you still got little touches of it left over?
Oh, yeah. It got worse that night. After the show last week, it got worse. And then the next day, Sunday, it got worse. Tuesday, I left work early because I was just not feeling it. So I got my stuff done and left work early. And so, yeah, no.
You didn't dope yourself up over all this?
Before it?
Before it? During it?
I mean, yeah, but it didn't stop it. It still happened. Still came. Real quick. Do this real fast. And then we're done. I don't know that that's actually the episode number. I erased it, made a mistake, and then when I wrote it back down, I thought, uh-oh. I don't know if it's 537 or not. But I've got these all archived, so I can check. And see which episode this actually is in the overall grand scheme of things. It's actually episode 39. That part I do know. If you want to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook, same place there. You can find us, you can email us, everyone at ingamechat.net. We're streaming on Twitch right now. Go to twitch.tv, type in In-Game Chat in the search field up there, and you will be able to find us and watch the show live while we broadcast. They're working on something here. RJ, you can probably see it below you on the floor there. There's two computers there now. And that second one that was brought in will eventually be a streaming computer.
Okay.
For all the shows that are on this radio station, actually, but if it gets all finagled and worked out the way it needs to work out and I'm able to make it happen, that'll also be ours. And I will no longer need to lug this thing in.
Well, it depends on how the thing performs, too.
I mean, yeah. But I've been talking with the guy building it, and I was like, here's what I use in mine. He was up here earlier today while I was setting everything up. So,
okay. All right.
He was looking over everything and sort of using us this template of how we're doing it to make it work for them. They're gonna the rest of the shows they're gonna stream on YouTube.
Okay.
It's more fitting for them there than it would be Twitch, because they don't talk about video games.
Yeah.
So
they would be lost.
Yeah.
On Twitch.
I don't necessarily know when that's actually going to happen, so we'll see. But that's one step closer at least. So yeah. I got a tweet from Spigot who said he can't call in, and I wish he could, but he said that I really need to play. Is it the Curse of Obra Dinn, or is it the... What do you say it was? Hang on, let me find it.
This is a puzzle game, like ones you're
Return. Can't call in tonight, but Scott really needs to play Return of the Obra Dinn. It is by the same guy, Lucas Pope, who made Papers, Please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a game, another game that he has done, and said I really need to play it. It's odd that he says that because last night I was looking through Steam to find music for the show tonight, and I saw The Curse of Obra Dinn in some of the selections, and I looked at it, and I didn't look for music on it. I just looked at it because it looked interesting to me, and I added it to my wish list last night on Steam. I didn't go ahead and grab it, but I added it to my wish list. So I'm right there with you, Spig. I'm right there with you to get around to playing that. If, of course, I can pull myself away from a third game added to the mini games that I play. 3 games. The problem is that they're very big games. Right now, I'm working on Destiny, Spider-Man, and now Red Dead Redemption 2. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know that I have room for a fourth to go in there to the old controller head mapping thing that I got in my head of like, how do I play it? I'm worried that Red Dead is going to kick out all the stuff I learned about Spider-Man, and then when I jump back into Spider-Man, I'm not going to know how to do a thing in that game.
If you play it too long, yeah, that will happen.
Well, that's what I got to do. What I hope to do tonight when I get home is edit the video like I always do, and then in between the time that the video is rendering, and where I don't have use of my PC, I hope to pop in Spider-Man and do a mission or two, and then hop over into Red Dead and continue doing that. Like, jump into Spider-Man, do a few things so that it continues to kind of stay with me, and then, but mainly focus on Red Dead 2. So that's what I would like to have happen. These things never go as planned. We shall see. Black Friday is coming up, so I can easily see myself picking up Odyssey, and maybe playing that too. I really don't know. Depends on the prices that we see for these games, by the way. This does not mean Black Friday's coming up does not mean I'm going to automatically be getting some more games. It depends on the prices. Yeah. I like to look for 2 things: lower prices, cheaper prices, and price errors. Really quick little, hey, it was up there for, 5 minutes. Hope you got a copy, and that's what I'm hoping for. I have to buy a new headset, and I don't mean like earphones that I'm wearing today, but a headset for the house because mine broke the other night. I was playing Destiny, and I was in the middle of something, and it was really weird because the ear part felt like it was doing this thing where it was coming off of my ear,
right?
Like sort of, and it just kept feeling like it was doing it. I was like, why is this thing not sitting correctly? And eventually I took it off and I looked and I was like, oh, it broke. And this is a really good headset.
Yeah.
This is a really good headset. By really good, I don't mean expensive. I just mean it was a really good headset. And they don't make the headset anymore.
Yeah, I mean, high price doesn't equate to quality.
It doesn't.
Things, man.
This one, I think, and I can't remember what I paid for it at the time. I want to say I bought it back in 2014. And I do not know what I paid for it at the time. Given... I can look. I forget. You have the internet at your disposal, you dummy, and you buy everything off the internet.
So one of the headphones just like cracked off and broke.
The connector there, kind of where it swivels and things, it just broke, and so it's not really repairable, and unfortunately they do not have. Oh God, what was it called? Was it PX21?
Was it Turtle Beach?
Yeah. PX20, was it PX21 headset? Yeah. Air Force DPX. It was the Air Force DPX 21 gaming headset. You bought this on November 26th of 2012.
Oh, yeah, good.
It was a good November 26th, which means it was a Black Friday deal.
Yep.
They were regularly $119. It was a lightning deal, $30 off. I got it for, and they didn't charge tax back then when you bought it from Amazon.
Right.
So I got it for $89. Really, really, really good set.
Yeah, I've got a pair of Turtle Beaches myself, and yeah, they it does good work. But the fact that you had yours since 2012.
2012.
Good. 5-6 years, good.
Yeah, and they don't sell them anymore. I can get it from third-party sellers.
Yeah.
And I may do that. I think Newegg had some for a price that was whatever. So I may do it again. Then again, I was thinking, if I can hold off, I can just wait until Black Friday rolls around again and see if I can find another golden pair of headphones for my gaming. I have 2 other sets at the house, and one of them requires an adapter that I don't know where it's at, but I have it somewhere in the house that'll hook into my PC. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's got a connector so it goes into my phone, and not this phone, but a phone with a headphone jack.
Yeah.
But and that's a Plantronics, I think, headset, which is a pretty good brand as well. But yeah, it's got an adapter so that I can plug it into a little conversion box, and then it's got the 2 things that go. One goes into your microphone port on your computer, and then a USB port on your computer. I've used it before for PC gaming, and I cannot find the adapter that goes with it. I do not know where that is at. And then I had another headset that I had not even opened up in a box yet. I think I got from one of these Reddit gift exchanges and stuff like that I had just gotten, and it was a Logitech G230, maybe, I think, headset.
I'm not that familiar with the Logitech headset.
I don't necessarily like it. I necessarily like it. I did hook it up, and I wanted to see how it performed. The odd thing is that my Turtle Beaches, they give me the sound of my voice in my head or in my ear.
Right.
The Logitechs don't. So the Logitechs sound very, very strange. It's like if I turn my mic off, can't hear me obviously. Yeah. But when I turn that off, and then I can hear myself talking, but it sounds like I'm
distant.
Yeah, sounds like I'm covering up my ears basically while I'm talking, and it's very, very odd. And I don't necessarily like that. I looked this up, and apparently Logitech, this is just the kind of way that they run their mic. Their input level is very low, so I have to boost it up 10 decibels on the software, which is what I did earlier. I forgot that I had done that. I had to pull that back down because we were coming in very hot before the show started. So I don't know. Headsets are a finicky type of thing. You got to find the one that's going to be good for you, that's going to work for you. Yeah. And man, those Turtle Beaches did the trick. And so I need to find those. The DPX 21s. They were sold for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, but they work on PC and they are fantastic on PC. So I'm gonna have to find a set. But yeah, I can get them new from a company called Speedy Mobile. They have free shipping. Arrives between November 1st and 6th. That's not bad. Might do that. A 95% positive rating from these groups. Third-party sellers, man. But again, I may go through Newegg and pick them up. So we'll see.
Well, if it's discontinued, you ain't got a lot of
I
options.
Know. Well, I looked at I looked up some other headsets, some newer headsets, some HyperX, I think is what they're called. I think they're called HyperX Clouds or something. And again, following my own rule, once October hits, you really should hold off on major appliance type purchases, headsets, video games, consoles. Just hold off on all these things. There's a few exceptions when it comes to video games. Red Dead Redemption 2 being one of those exceptions. I do not see it having a price drop between now and Black Friday.
Too big a title.
Too big a title, too recent a title, and you kind of want to, if you're anything like what I saw at the store on Thursday night, you kind of want to be there day one with the zeitgeist and everybody else playing the game. So, and I have a story to tell about that, by the way. Go
new
ahead.
Titles. You think around $30 to $40 range?
Almost. I can say almost always what I see, and I use Ubisoft as kind of like the benchmark, I guess.
Right.
Because I've watched them over the years. They almost always have an Assassin's Creed game come out in the fall. And almost always their Assassin's Creed game hits, and then by Black Friday, hey, pick it up for $30 or $35. The regular edition game, $30 or $35. The special edition that's like $100, it usually drops down to about $80, or the gold edition or whatever it's called. So it's almost always that way. Now, it's not every game, though. But I easily, for the fact that the Odyssey released so early, I easily see that dropping in price. I see Destiny 2's Forsaken campaign dropping in price.
Mm-hmm.
For Black Friday, by the way. They will go up. They will go back regular price.
Mm-hmm.
But for Black Friday, I think these things are going to fall. I see that for Forsaken. I see that for Spider-Man. I see that for Odyssey, like I said. Is there a Forza out? I see it happening for Forza 2. Call of Duty, I don't see it dropping that much, but I do see it dropping. Activision is not known to really drop those prices, but I think for Black Friday, you'll probably see it come down $10 to $15 off of the retail price of the game. So if you're getting a hum in the stream audio, it's probably because I have messed with things when I was trying to work with my headset and stuff. So you might be getting a hum. What I may do during the commercial break is unplug the microphone and plug it back in. That way it might reset the whole thing. Because I think you have to do that once you make some changes. You have to unplug the microphone and plug it back in. I don't know. You may see the stream cut off and then come back on. We'll see. I got to test some stuff out. I didn't suddenly think of these things until just before we went to air. So I'll try and figure something out and fix it in the break. For those of you listening to the stream, if you're listening on the radio, you don't hear a thing. Everything sounds fine. Mm-hmm. So with the exception of the way I sound, but that'll get over with soon, eventually. So what else? Oh well, Thor. Yeah, you know what? Those of you in the chat room who are listening to the stream, by all means, please point out if you hear anything odd, anything strange, like that, because we did make a change just before we went to show, before we went to air, and I don't know if that change set. I don't know if it did anything. I have no idea. So it's best that you guys can give me some feedback on that in the chat room to let me know about what to do during the break. So, what else? Yeah, the Red Dead Redemption 2 is released, and Destiny and Spider-Man, and that is really all that I have played. And I kind of want to go into detail on all of those, but just to get that out of the way of what I played, that's what I played. I wanted to mention real quick that we got a book in. Where's that book at? Do you have it? We had an Assassin's Creed book come in a couple of weeks ago, and then the publishers sent us another one called the Retro Tech, the Nostalgia Nerds Retro Tech, and it's just kind of a nice little reference book. There is about, I don't know, more than 50 or so machines in the thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of machines in here.
Yeah.
Very much.
I mean, it goes way the hell back, too. And and I like the way it does it. Obviously, it shows you a picture of it, and it tells you about the machine itself on one page.
I'll just say some random ones here. Magnavox Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Tandy TRS 80. Texas Instruments TI 99.
But then when on one of the other pages in the same thing, it gives you like 3 different games.
Yeah. That
like here's the must see game, here's the must play, and then here's the
must avoid.
Try to avoid, best to avoid type thing.
Yeah.
Which one did you turn to? Have you turned to any just to look at them?
Yeah. Let's see.
I went to an Apple II just to see what they had there, and then I went to a Commodore 64 because I had a Commodore 64.
You got the Sega Master System here.
And the games that are recommended, did you play them?
Let's see. Must see Road Rash. I played that one. Must play Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. Got
obviously.
That one. And must avoid Alf.
Alf?
Alf. Never played that one. I didn't think they made a game. Made a game of it. Acorn Archimedes.
That's a system?
Yeah. Acorn Archimedes, a computer, PC.
Huh. I also looked at the Intellivision. I wanted to see about that. There's also
a lot of systems I never heard of in here.
Let's look at the ColecoVision. I want to see. I'm sure it's in here. I don't know where.
Yeah, ColecoVision's in there. I bet around the hundreds or somewhere.
That's Amiga. Let's see. Oh, this is nice. I can just look at the bottom of the page here. Super Famicom, Mega Drive.
Yeah, book's got a lot of nice tabs on the outside. You can go back and forth to the
Commodore
content
Amiga,
section.
Commodore Plus 4, the Amstrad CPC, the Acorn Electron, like you mentioned, Sega SG 1000. The MSX, Atari 5200, the Vectrix, the GCE Vectrix. Price was $199, released in 1982.
Wow.
$200 machine released in 1982.
82.
Right?
Yep.
There's the Dragon. It looks like a UK thing. There's the ColecoVision. The must-see is Antarctic Adventure. The must-play is Ollie's Well. And the must-avoid is the Gust Buster. Okay. Friend of mine had a ColecoVision, and the only game I ever played on it was Smurfs. Wow, now I know how much they paid for it, too. August of 82, $195.
Yeah.
That's a lot in 1982 money. I say that. I don't really know. The Commodore 64 that they mentioned here, I didn't play any of these games. By the way, if you do call in, I just let it ring until I get around to it because I'm not looking directly at the phone here. And Matt is not here to help us answer the phones. The must-see is Mayhem in Monsterland. What? Hang on. It says 1982, but this says Apex Computer Productions 1993. I think that's an error.
Well, this is a preview copy anyway.
Maybe. The must-play is Impossible Mission, which I played Impossible Mission, but I did not play it on the Commodore. That's from 94. And the must-avoid is Chuck Norris Super Kicks. Sounds like it probably was. The BBC Micro. This is the Texas Instruments TI-99. Holy cow! 1981, the introductory price, $525.
They keep it.
Wow.
Yeah, they can keep that.
$300 for the Commodore VIC-20. $400 for that Tandy, the TRS-80. Man alive. Oh, goodness. That's some pricey stuff. Holy cow. The Atari 400 and the Atari 800. Released in 1979. The Atari 400 was $550. The 800 was $999.
Jeez.
That's amazing. What were the must-play games on that machine? Must-see was a game called Encounter. Must-play was Star Raiders, and the must-avoid was Congo Bongo. Wow.
I remember Congo Bongo.
Really? This book comes out in... When does it come out? You got that sheet with you. What does it say?
Yeah.
November something?
November 6th.
Yeah, November 6th is when this book releases. So... All right. We want to thank the folks over... I did the intro and everything, yeah? Okay, yeah, I did. I want to thank the guys at Quality Comics, Jason, Lee, and Brent over there. They are located at 500 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery. The music that you hear in between the breaks here and everything else, all brought to you by them. They're not picking the music or anything, but...
It's thanks to them that we got it.
Yeah, it's thanks to them for all of that stuff. But Quality Comics, fantastic. 500 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Go to Quality Comics with an X, COMIX.com. And you can find them on Facebook at Montgomery Quality Comics. They're the South's largest vintage comic dealer. But not only comics, they've got collectibles of all kinds. Sports memorabilia and toys and figures and Funko Pops. And which is a money pit I am avoiding, but plenty of stuff there. Have you picked up your pull list for the week? Or?
Picked up the pull list.
Okay,
I got a lot of reading to do.
When did you pick it up?
Last week's show.
Okay, after the show last week. Cool. Yeah, check out Quality Comics. Check out their eBay store and just visit them online. And so we're going to go into this music here. We're still doing our Halloween thing, and I still found scary music for you. This is from a game that I've never heard of. It's called Fran Bow, or Bow. Fran, F-R-A-N-B-O-W.
Okay.
Fran Bow. I don't know anything about the game, but this music was... music wasn't bad. This is called It Hunts Me. and we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat after this. Going to try and figure out some audio things here if I need to. We'll be right back. Welcome back again to In-Game Chat music here from, how would you pronounce G-O-E?
Hold up.
Okay.
Okay.
G-O-E-T-I-A. Goetia?
Goetia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a par game.
Par?
This is a horror game.
Oh, a horror game. Yeah, this is a par game?
no, horror game. You know, I think we mentioned it before how some of the best music in horror games happens when there's no suspense going on, when there's nothing happening. Because this sounds like some easy listening, something you listen to while you're stuttering.
The track is called Ghostly Reminiscence, is the name of this track. I pulled it straight off of YouTube. You guys can find it there as well. But that's the name of the game is Goetia.
Ghostly Reminiscence.
Yeah, Ghostly Reminiscence.
You have to get that one. That sounds like some easy listening.
Yeah. The game didn't look that bad either. I didn't actually see a trailer for the game. I just saw like whatever the art was, and it was a house. And I was like, kind of interesting if it's a puzzle type game. You know, it's odd that a lot of the horror games, if you look for the horror tag under Steam, a lot of the games that fall under horror tags are a lot of novel stories, I guess.
Yeah.
Japanese novel type stories and hidden object games for some reason.
Speaking of which, there was a bunch of stuff on PlayStation Store I was looking at, horror themed. The Coma and the Coma Recut. And one game I had a lot of interest in earlier, I want to say Perception, where you were you're playing a blind woman going through this haunted house, and you have to make sound to see things going on around you.
Is that a VR game?
It may be, but I
played a game like that where it's in black and white.
Kind of a bluish tinge, really, to me.
Maybe it was a bluish tinge. This one was completely black.
Yeah.
And you had your the walking stick. I don't necessarily know what it's called for blind people, but the stick, that goes from side to side as they're walking to make
walking
sure
stick.
Walking stick.
Yeah, I just called that. Yeah.
Anyway, you had the stick, and like if you could tap it on the floor, it would make echoes, and you could kind of see your surroundings.
Yeah. You'd have to make perception. You have to make noise to get a view of your surroundings, a brief image of your surroundings. But making noise attracts the spirits in the house to you, so you have to judge when is the best time to make sounds to see where you're going.
Music, of course, that we're talking about, brought to you by Quality Comics, located on the Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, 500 Eastern Boulevard, the South's largest vintage comic dealer. But as we told you before, they've got so much more than just comic books. They've got vintage memorabilia from sports. They've got vintage comics, a lot there, toys, statues, collectibles of all kinds. They may even do the jersey thing too. I'm not sure if they do, but check them out online, qualitycomics.com, or go to their Facebook page, Montgomery Quality Comics. Brent, Jason, and Lee are all going to help you out at Quality Comics, and don't forget to check out their eBay store as well. All right, so Chris is on the line, and I know that he's there because I answered it during the break, but we had a call come in just a minute ago that I have not answered. I do not know who was on that call, so I want to get to that person real quick. I don't even know who it is. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Here's Josh from Germany.
Hey, Josh.
Josh, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Been a while.
Thanks for the birthday wishes the other day, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to you first because you're calling all the way from Germany. What's going on? Obviously, Red Dead is taking up your time, man.
Oh yeah, like crazy. The game is really, really big.
Massive. I'm still in the first 5 hours, which means the tutorial. Because that tutorial apparently is very, very long.
For like what I said earlier about the introductory chapter, most folks are telling me about how they spent about 2 hours just in the first chapter. I'm still
in the snow at the camp type thing. So I mean, I'm not very deep into this thing.
Yeah, I think I finished the third chapter, or nearly finished with it at this point.
Mm-hmm. Do we know how many chapters are in the game?
Not sure myself, but probably the hidden trophies are a good hint.
Probably, or you know what? I could hit up the internet. I don't know if you want to know how many are in the game, but
I don't really care too much about spoilers in that regard.
How many chapters in Red Dead 2? Which is underneath the suggestion of how many chapters in the Bible. If you're looking for how many chapters, you've come to the right place. Click the link. Spoilers are inside. Okay.
Just looking for a number.
Yeah, I know. That's all I'm looking for. You ain't got to draw this stuff out here, Mr. Website. Some of the chapters are shorter than others, but some can take a full day of play at the very least. One of the later chapters, see, that doesn't say that that's many. It just says one of the later ones. Chapter 6.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like... Oh, wait, what does he say? Okay, I'm looking at AC Wraith in the chat room.
It says 8 plus 2 epilogues or 6 plus 2 epilogues.
Yeah, it looks to be like 6, but maybe some epilogues thrown in as well. So,
two epilogues. Maybe is that maybe a possible alternate ending? Considered depending on what you do.
From what I'm reading in the article here, it says once you're near the end of Chapter 6, you may want to check out our guide on how to get the best ending in Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay. So I have no idea. I'm not big on spoilers either. That sort of thing. So I'm not too worried about it. But if it does have different endings to choose from, I kind of like to go through that on my own. So, chapter 6 chapters, 2 epilogues that you're going to be dealing with. So, well, okay. Enjoyed the game?
Yeah, pretty much. There are like a few minor gripes I have with it so far, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, what were you saying, RJ? I'm sorry.
I was about to ask if he was still on the first disc. You said 3 chapters in. You've been playing?
Well, I think there's 2 discs, but only one's an install disc, and then the other one is your play disc. So I don't think you ever. You never switch discs because all the disc actually after you've installed it, all the disc does is just to check for verification.
Okay. So I'm hearing 2 discs, and I'm thinking
it's 2 discs for install purposes. It is not 2 discs once you play.
Okay.
So,
probably on that one then.
Yeah. So you're on chapter 3, or about to be done with close to it, or something like that. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts so far?
I'm liking it a lot, but the whole fact that quick travel is a bit hard to come by.
You kind of have to make quick travel happen.
Yeah, and even then it's not too good of a thing because you can quick travel in one direction but can't quick travel back to the camp.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's a little bit complicated, and you have to move a lot between the story missions.
Yeah, I had to watch one of those videos. Well, I didn't say I had to, but I watched one of those videos of like, here's some of the first things you need to do with the game. I love those because it helps me to know what I need to focus on as far as like when I'm playing and not to really. My biggest fear is missing out on something early in the game that I can never get back to, and So I like to watch these sort of things of like, here's what you need to do, that sort of stuff. So I was watching that, and they said, okay, once you get a little ways into the game, you should upgrade this part of the camp, and especially upgrade this or do this, because once you do that, fast travel will be unlocked. And I was like, oh, wow, you have to unlock fast travel. It is not a situation where you play enough in the game and it unlocks for you. You actually have to upgrade your camp or do something to actually unlock fast travel. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, and it's pretty expensive as well. From what I recall, the whole camp upgrades are pretty expensive.
Yeah, there was another video I saw where they're like, hey, don't worry too much on the camp stuff. You can do that later with a much better camp. This was early in the game type stuff. Like the tips that was given early on in the game was loot everything. Any of the bodies that you shoot or whatever, loot the bodies, search everywhere, be thorough, and get everything, because you're going to need that money later on. You're going to need this. Keep your horse. The horse you start out with, by the time you get the ability to pick up other horses, is going to be just as good as any other horse in the game, with the exception of some of the more elite horses that you can come across. But you don't have to worry about them until much later in the game. So the horse that you've got is good. And by the time you get anywhere to where you can get other horses, the bonding that you've made with that horse is such a higher level that it just benefits you to stick with the horse that you had from the beginning. And what else did I read about? Stuff that, help out members, people that you come across, because later on they'll recognize you and help you out later with money or free things from whatever store that you're in, that sort of thing. So
yeah. But you shouldn't be too charitable, because some people are really trying to con you when you try to help them.
Yeah, I can remember that from the first game. Yeah, I remember that from the original one.
There was one guy, I was riding past him, and he called me over, so I stopped. And the moment I stopped, he ran up to me and pulled me off the horse and tried to steal it.
Did you shoot him?
Oh, of course. And I was really careful to not hit the horse, because...
Yeah, your horse can die.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. There's a medicine you can give it, but that's not too cheap.
There was Thar makes probably a good point. He said lots of people say they went too much into the Cowboy Old West simulator for this game, and I don't know that they went too much. I haven't played enough to tell you that they went too much into it. I also don't necessarily know that that's a bad thing for me. I like Old West stuff.
It really depends on what kind of game you're looking for, because the first few times the whole animation process for skinning animals, cleaning your weapon, the whole busy work is fun. But if you're doing it 60 hours into the game or however long you play and you're still doing all those things, they start to take up really a lot of time.
I can remember... Yeah, some other games that have done that, where I got tired of, it's like, oh god, we have to go through the motions on this thing again. Where it's really fun to see in the beginning, and then by the 175th time that you're doing, it's like, I'm really tired. Was it lockpicking or something? I can't remember what it was. There was some game.
For me, it was building settlements in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It got to a point where if the first time you build it up, it's nice and fine. You build it up to where you like it. But then every settlement in the wasteland, you have to build something for. So yeah, it got a little tedious after that.
It may have been something. It may have been something like that, where you go through an upgrade thing, and every time you upgrade, it does this really neat little thing. But by the time you're on your, 50th, 60th upgrade, I'm tired of seeing the thing. Just upgrade it. Why I got to see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what that was, but it might have been an Assassin's Creed or something. I can't remember what game it was, but there was something like that. So yeah, you're on the PS4. Are you on a Pro or are you on a base?
I'm on Pro.
Pro? All right. Are you playing on a 4K TV?
No.
Okay.
Just regular HD.
Yeah. I don't know that I have time to go into my story here, but I will at the top of the hour. But well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And is there anything else you wanted to say about it?
Maybe one or two tips from my experience from playing it.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are the yellow missions are like the main missions of the story that progress the game.
Yeah.
And apparently apparently the white missions are optional, and if you progress too far, some of them drop away again. So you should prioritize the white missions.
Okay, yellow missions are story missions in progress. White missions are side missions and can go away if you progress too far.
Yeah, and another thing is you get some weapons for free from the story progress. You don't have to buy them from the shop.
Yeah, I also read where the weapons in the shop aren't accessible until you find them out in the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's also a point. If you find an enemy that has it and pick it up, you can buy it from the shop as well.
Yeah.
But at that point, you already have it, so I don't really see why it's like that.
Right, I understand that, and then that's kind of odd, you know. If they did go too far into the Cowboy Old West simulator, they're doing it the wrong way, because I should be able to walk into a store and see, you know, what goods they have on hand, and be able to, if I have the money, be able to buy it. Why does it only appear in the store if I've seen it out in the world and picked up the gun? That seems a little odd to me. And I don't remember them doing it in the game previous, but I also don't remember the game previous too much.
I think in the previous game you just didn't see it at all in the stores. It just appeared at a point in the story progress.
Yeah.
That you can buy it. I guess it's the progress thing as well, that you don't buy the best weapons right away.
Yeah. Did you go back to the old burned down town and get the $500 gold bar?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the other tip I keep hearing.
Apparently there are like treasure stashes that have 4 gold bars.
Goodness.
Are gold bars always $500 a piece?
Yep. But you gotta unlock the fencer from a story mission.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for that game to open up for me. Right now, it's still the first few hours. I guess the entirety of Chapter 1 possibly is very linear.
Yeah.
Very little in the way of exploration. So I'm just going to keep trucking with it and go about it. I'm on the Xbox One X is the one I'm playing on, and I'll tell you that whole story here coming up a little bit later. But man, thanks so much for calling. It was good hearing from you.
Yeah, it was nice calling in again.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you still in our clan on Destiny 2, or did you jump ship?
I didn't play Destiny 2 in a long time. I didn't pick up the latest DLC either.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay. We finally hit rank 6 on our clan for Season 4.
Yeah. I've noticed. I keep getting the pop-ups in the app.
Oh, nice. Well, glad to still have you with it, even though you're not playing. If you ever get over on the PC side, we're right there waiting for you. So we'll talk to you later, and I'll see you online.
All right, then. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now.
We'll go over to Chris real quick before we go to a break. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
Not much. Just talking some Red Dead. What are you up to?
Same thing.
Yeah?
I did.
Yeah, I've got the chapter 2, but the chapter 1 wasn't too far. I think it's only a couple story missions, so if you've done already one of them, I think there's only like 2 of them where
don't tell me too much. Yeah, don't tell me. I can tell you where I'm at, and it'll be better that way.
Okay.
I did. Let's see. Well, I did the introductory thing. So we made it to camp, and then I went out and I found that lady whose husband had been killed outside. You know, they went up to this cabin.
Oh yeah, where you found the horse.
Yeah, and dude was like, "Hey, there's a dead body in this thing," and then we had a shootout. Took them back to the cabin. Then I went out to find the Marston guy. Found the Marston guy and came back. Then we went out and went to the camp of that dude's rival guy, talking about hitting the train and stuff. We haven't hit the train, but we found his explosives. And then I brought those back to camp. And that's where I've really just stopped. So I'm not far at all into the game.
Yeah, I think you've got like maybe 1 or 2, and then that's it. It's not no more than I think 3 or 4 that I can remember. But
Yeah.
it's not. It's pretty short.
Yeah, so I've got to do that, and then I guess it'll progress again or open up eventually. I don't know. I can't wait to get to the point where I can just ride my horse around wherever I want to go. That was another thing that I read about the game, was that play the way you want to play. There is nothing that is time sensitive. There is nothing that is urgent to your attention. You can do whatever you want. The story waits for you, and you are free to, play it the way that you want to play it. And
except when you had one of the main characters yelling at you for taking too long looting all the bodies.
Right, yeah. They said that too. They said the tip was early on you want to loot all the bodies because you need all that stuff. You need all that stuff. It's expensive, the materials that you find, and plus the cash you find is very beneficial to you. Plus you're going to have tons of ammunition by the time you're out on your own anyway from all the bodies that you've looted. And they said you'll hear your partners get onto you for taking too long. Don't worry about it. There's no loyalty that's going to change because you're taking too long. There's nothing that's going to happen because you took too long. Just go at your own pace, do your own thing. The game waits for you. So
yeah, it'd be nice if you could focus on the character and tell him to shut up. I'm still looting.
Well, I did when I was in the cabin, man. It gave me the option to hold the trigger down and say I'm still looking, because the guy's like, come on out of there. I ain't done looking in here. So, which is odd because that first mission when you're looking through the cabin, I turn that place upside down, and then I go to the barn and hear the scream, and it's like, well, where was this woman? I looked everywhere in this cabin. I went upstairs, or did they say the cellar? Maybe she was downstairs, and I don't remember seeing a cellar. But if she
I haven't went back to that location.
Yeah, if she was in a cellar, then that's different. But
I think she was.
Yeah, then that's different. So yeah, I have to. Excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. You're in. Where are you at? What chapter are you in?
I'm in chapter 2. Basically, I've played a little bit. I've done a couple of the things, the missions. It's pretty fun. I did get attacked by a legendary grizzly bear. I got one of the legendary animals and killed it. It got mauled by that bear and all, and that was pretty intense. I thought these suckers want to get me on that one, but I just barely got away from him alive.
Yeah.
So Chris, what makes this bear legendary? It's just rarity, or
it's
something
just
special about it?
had a scar, and it's just like bigger than normal, and it's part of one of the missions that you took on one of the main characters, and he decided to go back to town and all, and I decided, well, I wanted to try my luck and see if I can get the bear, and I ended up getting him.
Okay.
But he mauled me and scratched and bit the living what out of me. I mean, it was like the movie that was where they had that bear attack scene recently in the movie, like 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh, Revenant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt about like that.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once you get to that point, or get mauled by an animal or a bear, that was pretty intense.
Mm.
Wow.
I thought he was about to get me, but I got lucky, I guess.
Yeah. Still my favorite in the whole series. I hadn't even played it, but the way you talked about it, Cougar Man.
Cougar Man from Red Dead, yeah.
Yeah, it was a glitch, right?
It was a glitch.
Yeah. Still funny, though.
Yes, it was. Well, all right, Chris, I can't wait to get there myself. It'll probably be tonight or tomorrow when I do, playing through all these other different games and stuff. So, but thanks. Anything else you wanted to say about the game?
Yeah. You said your headset broke, so you don't think you can fix it, or the little bracket or something broke on it?
Yeah, it's really beyond repair. I mean, I could do some gluing, I suppose, but then I would have to be very, very careful with it when I use it to make sure that it doesn't break off. I can look at. I mean, what I'll probably do is eventually get another pair, and then I'll look into repairing this one and kind of have it as a backup, or get it repaired to where I can use it, and then have whatever it is I buy new to be my backup.
Won't you, whenever you have a chance, send me some pictures of it, the way it broke or the way it should go back together. I might have some ideas. I might be able to make something, fabricate something. It may not look the best, but if it does the job and makes it last another 5 or 10 years, I might be able to do something if something jogs my memory from looking at it, if I can think of something.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that, because if it does, I don't care how it looks. But if it...
as long as you can use it and get good use out of it, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It was my favorite pair, and it was so good. I really, really love them. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for calling.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
You
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we got to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more of in-game chat. Going to tell you about my time with Red Dead, which is not very much, and also, yeah, some of my time in Destiny 2. I don't have any time to tell you about Spider-Man because I didn't really progress too much in the story. Who did I fight? Was it the Shocker?
Electro?
Yeah, Shocker. Was it Electro?
Was
No, it wasn't Electro. It wasn't Electro.
It wasn't Electro?
It was the Shocker.
It was Shocker, okay.
Yeah, because this is the first, introductory thing, and I had to chase him around the city.
Were you in a bank?
No, not yet.
So you're chasing him around the city?
Yeah, this is an early mission. I'm chasing him around the city,
Okay.
and every now and again I get prompted to, tackle him in the air.
Okay.
And we'd roll down and do some punching and stuff, and eventually I was able to, and haul him off.
Okay.
All
right.
So, yeah. So, no, not Electro yet. But,
Okay.
but yeah, it was Shocker. Like
Yeah.
I said, early mission.
Okay. You're going to have fun with Electro, by the way.
Anyway, we're going to come right back with more of in-game chat in just a moment. This is a name of a game called Dread Halls. Again, a lot of these games I've never heard of. Going to the horror tab on Steam brings up a lot of different games. Some look fantastic, some don't. Some have great reviews, and some look look horrible.
Hot garbage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just really, really bad stuff. Some have music, some don't. And this one did. I don't know anything about the game. Excuse me, I don't know anything about the game. It's just the menu music for Dread Halls. We'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Distrust. That's the name of the game. It is called Distrust. It's apparently the main theme for the game, I guess. Never heard of the game before. But I like the music for it.
Yep.
And of course, our music brought to you by our friends at Quality Comics, Brent, Jason, and Lee, over on the Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery. Have everything you need when it comes to comic books. Now, they don't just have the collectibles, they don't just have the comic books, the toys, and the sports memorabilia, and the sports cards, and that sort of thing. But if you've got something of value, or you think you might have something of value, in the world of collectibles, be it comics, be it toys, be it just anything that you might have sitting around, and you're like, I wonder if this thing has any worth to it. Take it to them, and they will let you know. Quality Comics on the Eastern Boulevard. I got a couple of comic books that I would like them to look over. I'm not exactly sure on the value, and I'm not too concerned with the value. I think I would just like better preservation of certain books. Because boards and bags are fine for a while, but there are better ways to keep better books better protected. Yeah. So, and you can find all that information you need to at Quality Comics. Find them online at qualitycomics.com and over on Facebook at Montgomery Quality Comics. So, the whole intention, the whole plan that I ever had for Red Dead Redemption 2, I was on the fence on this whole, like, steelbook, not steelbook, steelbook, not steelbook. I had pretty much set my mind to skipping the steelbook altogether. I didn't like the fact that it was exclusive from one business.
Yeah. That's annoying. That's annoying.
I had credit at Amazon that I could use, you know. I didn't have, so I was very, very annoyed with the way that it was going. So, Wednesday night, I bought the digital version on Amazon. I was like, okay. I got the code and everything, and I said, I'll worry about putting the code in later and doing the download. I figured I'd probably do the download on, like, Friday while I was away at work.
Yeah.
You know, because there was no way I was going to get to play it anytime before then.
The download's going to take a minute.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time for me to do that download thing. I could do it before work or something, so wasn't too concerned with it. I get up Thursday morning, and I start looking. Apparently reviews hit Thursday morning, and the people over at Digital Foundry, who I'm a big fan of, they do really in-depth analysis of how games look. They do console comparisons, PC comparisons. They do all the comparisons between how a game looks across the different systems if it's a multi-platform game. And so they had a very thorough, in-depth look at Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a two-part video. The second part, and it's about 30 minutes long. The second part is 30 minutes long. Focuses on the comparison between the X, the Pro, and then the two base systems, the Xbox One S and then just the regular PS4. And lo and behold, and I was very, I don't necessarily know that I was surprised, but it's not something you often hear lately, is that the Xbox One X was a very clear winner in this thing.
Clear winner.
Yeah. Okay. It looks better on Xbox One X, and it slightly runs better. But it looks phenomenal. It runs in native 4K on the Xbox One X, whereas the Pro tries to do some checkerboarding and tries to do some stuff to get it up to 4K, but kind of falters just a little bit. And the more I read in this thread, the more I found out that there's a texture pack that comes with the Xbox One X for the 4K adjustments. And I was like, well, crap, I already bought it on PS4.
Yeah. And
I have an Xbox One X. But I don't have a 4K TV. I'm still kind of annoyed. So, that morning, I get on with Amazon support. It's a complete shot in the dark. Amazon support, or I say Amazon support, but the whole thing about digital downloads is that, look, once you buy this thing digitally, we cannot refund you the money.
Right.
You've got the code. We can't refund you the money. I said, well, let me try. So I talked to them. Sure. What I wanted to do was just, is there any way you guys can just refund and let me get the Xbox One version? You know, I'll be happy to do that. Just switch it out for me. That'd be fine. They couldn't. He said, do you want me to try and get you a refund? And I said, you can try. Be an interesting miracle if you were able to make it happen.
What's the worst that could happen? He could say no.
And they ain't try. Sure enough, refund is possible.
Nice.
The odd thing about that is that I still have the code for the PS4 version. It may still work, but I got my money back. So the whole day I'm talking with Amazon support because I still don't have a notification or an email saying, "Hey, we've refunded your money," and I haven't got anything from them on that. And so I keep talking to them. I was like, "Are you sure this worked? Are you sure this happened?" I've checked the order status, and it still shows as ordered and all this other stuff. And I was like, "Are you sure this thing?" They're like, "Yes, sir. We assure you, it just has not. The notification hasn't gone through. You're good. Mm-hmm. And so I go, okay. So here it is about 8:15. About 8 o'clock was the last time I checked with them on Thursday night.
Right.
And I had read earlier where GameStop was going to start selling the game at 9 o'clock in store. I was like, well, okay. So then I'm weighing my options. Here it is. It's now 8:30. They've reassured me yet again that this refund did go through. I'm looking on the Amazon site for getting the edition that I want, which is the Ultimate Edition. I still want the big fancy edition. I was just not worried about getting it from the Steelbook.
Yeah.
I was just not worried about doing the Steelbook thing. So here it is, almost 8:30. I go to GameStop's website, and I look up the Ultimate Edition that has the Steelbook, and it's the exact same price as what I'm paying on the Amazon thing. It's exactly the same price. That's the difference. I get everything digitally, with the exception of a Steelbook and a cloth map. You know, I say cloth map, whatever. They're not cloth; it's paper. But but I get everything digitally except for all the things that come with it, like the map. But all the other stuff in the game that I really need, it's all there for me. The only difference is I do not get a Steelbook, but I'm still paying the same price, and that bothered me.
Yeah.
As a guy who collects Steelbooks, that bothered me that I'm going to be paying for this, but I could still be paying and get the Steelbook. So I called up GameStop. I said, are you guys doing that? They answer the phone. First off, they answer the phone. Thanks for calling GameStop, where we're 30 minutes away from selling Red Dead. I was like, oh, that's a good way to open the thing. He's like, it saves a ton of time, man, because that's all the calls we get. You selling it at 9? Yes, we are. So he says that, and I said, do you still have copies of the Xbox One version with the Steelbook? He's like, it's, he gives me the whole sales pitch. It's running low, so, you come on down. We'll get you set up for it, man. And I can hear on the phone that he's busy. I didn't realize how busy until I got there. Because I said to myself, okay, fine, I'm going to go get the Steelbook. I had a $50 Visa card as a gift from, Jesus, I don't know, back in April or something. I had just held on to it. And I said, okay, fine, I'll pay $60 on this thing. And so I get there. I've never seen this particular GameStop store have this many cars on a release night. For big sales and things like that, I've seen it full. For like a Black Friday sale, stuff like that. I've seen lines. I've seen it full before.
Yeah.
Just never on a Thursday night at 8:45 in the evening.
So which GameStop?
In Prattville.
In Prattville.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that still a pretty small?
It's a very small store.
Very small store.
It's a very small store. And there was a ton of cars, and I was amazed at how many cars. So I walk up to the door, and there's a ton of people inside. I walk inside, and there's somebody in like a cowboy outfit. All the clerks behind the desk are all trying to dress up in Western gear.
That's close enough to Halloween. Why not?
I know. They got chili for you if you want to eat some chili. And yeah, I didn't touch it. Everything is decked out behind the desk. And you guys work in retail. You know how you do. You dress it up. You make it an event.
Yeah.
They have T-shirts and everything and stuff that you can buy there. And so I get to the register, and that's what I want. And so then they tell me, okay, if you go over there, the PS4 line is over there, the Xbox line is over here. The Xbox line is significantly shorter. Yeah. The PS4 line loops a couple of times.
Yeah.
The Xbox line just goes to the end of the wall. It's not very long at all.
Now the people inside, are we talking fire marshal violation levels?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think by the time they got around to selling it, it would probably be in violation.
Yeah.
Because it was quite crowded.
Yeah.
But when I got in there to actually buy the game, not so bad.
Okay.
It was still, it was organized, so there was still space. But eventually they ended up with 3 lines. They ended up with a PS4 line, which, like I said, it looped by the time it was time to sell. Then they had a line of people who had just come in to buy the game. They hadn't pre-ordered. They hadn't done anything.
Right.
They were there to buy the game, so that line had gotten long.
Now GameStop is notorious for having just getting the amount of pre-orders they had and not any extras coming in. That's what they've been doing lately. But with a title like this,
they were good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd gotten bulk in there.
And I'll tell you, I probably could have gotten away with just picking it up the next day.
Right.
And doing it. But I picked it up that night, took it home, started the download and the install process. It was done by the time I got up in the morning and was ready to go. So
okay.
it was Yeah, and so eventually here I am, and it's another one of those situations where I said I'm not going to do this, and then I end up doing it.
It's just amazing to me because I still remember going to Prattville for playing that when they had that Street Fighter 4 tournament, and they had the divisionals, and it was at the Prattville GameStop that we had to go play at. And I remember how small that store was, and if it's still the same size that I remember being,
It didn't get bigger, dude. They didn't expand.
Or didn't move anywhere. But my goodness, that's a
tiny shop.
That's a tiny store.
It is a very tiny shop.
For that big of a title to have that.
And I'm not,
coming
and
in.
this has nothing to do with any of friends that I know at GameStop. It has nothing to do with corporate. I'm just not a big person to go to GameStop and buy my games. I'm really not. I am the type, like if we had a mom and pop shop, I probably would, because I'd probably have a nice little relationship with them or something like that. But for me, it's, I've got two options. Number one, Best Buy still does the Gamers Club Unlocked thing where I get it at a reduced price.
Yeah, use that as long as you can, man.
Right.
Because the way they cut it out. So you're still on. So you're like,
so I still do that. And if they had that Steelbook, it's very likely this would not have been a debate. I'd have just gotten it there. But yeah, it was. I still get it from either Best Buy or God. Actually, you know what? It's all been Best Buy, really. I really haven't bought a game off of Amazon in a while either, because I don't get the points that go to my members thing for Best Buy. You know.
Yeah.
I've racked up about $400 worth of points on Best Buy. So I'm using that. That's going to be used towards my eventual 4K television purchase, by the way, which may be this year. I thought it was going to be last year, and it didn't. It may be this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Still wait on that.
Now, Lethal Migraine says I only go to GameStop to buy consoles. I was there the night that they did the PS4 launch at GameStop. I was either number one, and then James was number two, or I was number two, and James was I think James was number one, and I was number two, because I had him go in. I was at E3 when they announced the PS4. I was in LA. They announced the PS4 and they announced the price. And as soon as that press conference was over and I was out of the building, I was on the phone with James, and I was like, "Can you go?" He says, "I've already found out they're taking pre-orders right now. The shop is open." And I said, "Can you go there? Can you put it down? I'll pay you whatever I got to pay you. Let's do that." And so he and I were number one and number two for our PS4 purchases. That was not as crowded as what it was for Red Dead Redemption last night. That was not as crowded. So it was interesting to see. It was really interesting to see. And it was kind of fun again to kind of feel that. But I was also very tired, and I was still sick. And I still was like, let's speed it up. Can we go? Yeah. I was glad I was in the Xbox line.
Yeah, how short it was.
So I could get my stuff and go home. I was ready to go home, and I was ready to go to bed. Put this thing in, do its thing, and have me fall asleep to Forensic Files, which I go to sleep to on Netflix. So yeah, it's like I just want to get this thing started so I can be done with it. But normally I would have been excited about that. I remember when the PS4 and the Xbox One launched, I remember going to the GameStops and taking my recording device. And I remember getting interviews from people saying like, "Hey, what are you most excited for?" Blah, blah, blah. And I played them back on the show that weekend. It would have been fun to do something like this for that, but again, I didn't expect, number one, that many people to be there. And number two, my days of late nights during the week, they don't.
It's not a thing. No,
it doesn't happen anymore.
No.
So yeah, yeah, I agree with you on the going GameStop by consoles, but again, I move it all over to Best Buy now because I get points back and I get discounts. I don't think I get discounts on consoles, but I do get points back, and that goes to future purchases, which is what I use it for.
And it's going to be a minute for me. I was thinking about the PS Pro myself, but it's going to be a minute. And I can still afford to wait. I mean, I still got plenty of things to play on there, and I'm good as it is right now. But when I get a good opportunity to upgrade, I'll probably do so.
I may have an extra copy of Red Dead Redemption 2. Morally, I don't have an extra copy.
Morally,
well,
this from the person who waits for the thing to fall off the Russian truck.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Come on now.
Well, part of me doesn't want to redeem it. Part of me wants to redeem it to be like, does this thing still work? And then part of me doesn't want to do it at all. Part of me is like, you got a legit refund. Let's take the high road on this and just do as you said. They were kind enough to give you that refund, which they were not in the right to do. But they gave it to you anyway. Let's respect that. And don't be doing that. And then part of me is like, hey, man, you want a free copy of Red Dead? I might have one. Here, give it a shot. If it works, congrats. If it doesn't, I'm so sorry. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of says it, doesn't it?
Yeah. He says, the game is called Redemption. The code must be redeemed. Right? I know. This is the thing, though. I won't play it on the PS4. Actually, I might, because I got Spider-Man over there. It'd be a nice little thing to, like, flip back and forth to. And I'm not very far into it on the
sake.
Xbox One X.
Yeah. But you're right, though. You were saying earlier how you don't hear it often in direct comparison between PS4 and Xbox One, that the Xbox One is
you don't.
truly the better one. But in this case, it is.
Yeah, and I want to stress that we've talked about console power on this show before, and we really don't like to talk about it at all because we think your decisions on buying a console should come from the games that you want to play.
Yeah.
You should look and see what games are out there. If you're excited about a game like Uncharted or Last of Us, then your decision is made. If you're excited about a game like Forza or Halo or Crackdown or Sea of Thieves, for God's sakes, if you're excited about those games, then your decision is made for you. Now, if you're excited about games like Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed or something like that, where it's on both systems, then again, you need to look at other factors. Where do your friends play? How much do you have available to spend? You know, that sort of thing. Are you... It's all in a situation where what works for you. It doesn't matter how powerful the console is. Although in this case, and we have said this before, on paper, statistically, the Xbox One X right now is the most powerful system as far as consoles on the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
And PCs are still, dependent upon what you've put in your PC, can run, better than the home consoles, depending on what you put in. We're not talking about PCs, just your Switch, your PS4, and your Xbox One. Mm-hmm. Which one is the better one? It would go in whatever order as far as specs on paper type thing. Your One X is your top of the line. Your PS4 Pro, not that far below it. I mean, very, very close. And then it gets into your base systems, and it probably goes Xbox One, probably goes PS4, Xbox One S. And again, those are probably very, very close. Something else to look at is the fact that the Xbox One S and the One X have 4K players in them, 4K Blu-ray players.
Okay, yeah.
They double as 4K players. PS4 does not. So then there's other options to look at. They all do your apps. They all do your Netflix and your apps and things like that.
Yeah.
But one of the big selling factors of the PS3 back in the day was that it was a Blu-ray player included.
Exactly.
Blu-ray players were expensive as hell at the time.
That's the reason I pulled the trigger on the PS3 because of Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the main reason I pulled the trigger on it.
Lethal Migraine brings up another point: the EA Access and the Microsoft Game Pass. EA Access and Game Pass are part of Microsoft or on Microsoft Xbox consoles. The EA Access is not... Game Pass is a Microsoft thing, so it's only going to be there. But the EA Access is on PC, and it's on Xbox. It is not on PS4. And I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon. It might. Mm-hmm. But Sony seems to be bending a little bit in some of the things that they're doing. Yeah. But yeah, there's so many different factors to look at. Mm-hmm. Don't put the which one's better on your list. Yeah. Which one's better for you is what you need to put on your list. And I want you to look at all those factors when you do that. Holidays are coming up, so if you got questions about those things, feel free to call us anytime. Mm-hmm. We'll be happy to answer those questions, or at least try to give you a better answer for those. But we never want you to make these decisions based on the strength of the insides of the console. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be unbelievably one-sided for us to say this is where you need to go.
Yeah.
And it's not, because there's too many different factors for you as a consumer as to what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Let's see. I'm still reading through the comments. I wasn't paying attention. I'm looking forward to the hot garbage that RDR2 Online will be when released.
Yeah.
even if they declared it as beta. One would expect that they have learned from that. I kind of doubt it'll be a positive surprise when it works. He says they messed up the HDR, though. Not sure how they let that slide. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure on that. They have a money glitch, that sort of thing. Yeah, talking about that stuff. We haven't even hit the news other than the fact that Red Dead released.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, I didn't really have a whole bunch of news to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I think when we come back, we'll hit that. We'll just do some quick hits on the news because we had to take a break here. Mm-hmm. When we come back, we will do that. But right now we're going to some more music. This track is ripped straight from the game, so you do hear sound effects. I didn't realize it until I went further in the video that this was actually being pulled straight from the game. But this is from a game called Emily Wants to Play.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just the menu music, and apparently as you watch the menu, the light goes out and it comes back on, and there's like some doll figures or something there, and then the light goes out and comes back on, and then they're gone. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what the whole situation is.
It's based on children's games. The dolls represent different child's games. Like one represents hide and seek, one represents tag, and the other two represents two different games. One of which I'm not familiar with, but yeah, you have to go through the entire house and survive. You know, of course, you lose the game, you lose your life. So that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is from that game. It's just the menu music. We'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to in-game chat music here from a game called Obscuritas. This is called Hunting Time, is the name of the track.
Yeah, this sounds like something you would hear when you're getting chased or something.
Yeah. Obscuritas. Yeah. Voice is tired of talking. It sounds like this now. Yeah. Unless I speak a little bit different.
I want to use that for one of your ads.
Yeah. What ad?
I don't know.
What ad would I need a voice like that for?
Be sold with a voice like that.
Need a hammer? Come down to Joe's general store.
Mm-hmm.
We got hammers of all kinds.
Baby clothes.
Yeah, need baby clothes. Babies R Us. Wait, they closed. Babies R Us was part of Toys R Us. They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it might come back.
I don't think Babies R Us is part of that deal. Toys R Us was. Yeah. And the Jeffrey's Toy Box or something,
Jeffrey's
I think
Toy
is
Box,
what they were going to call it. So I don't know that Babies R Us will make the set. You got babies' clothes. Need bibs. We got them. Rubber duckies. Oh, we got them. Those spoons with the rubberized tips on the end that you put in the baby food. We got them. Let's go to the phones real quick. Probably somebody saying, what the hell am I listening to? Could you please put Terry Adams on? Yep. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Hey, this is Weeks.
Hey, Weeks.
How you doing?
What's going on?
You could use that voice when Love Stuff decides they want a sponsorship slot. Hey, I really appreciate.
I can still advertise baby. We got baby clothes.
I really appreciate y'all doing anytime you do a comparison that is all aimed towards maybe not folks on the side of really, really, really hardcore gamers, but like, for instance, you're talking about different games you want to get. If you're just there to, figure out what's best for, your group of friends that you play, and, if you're not specifically looking for Spider-Man, but you're going to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I really appreciate having any kind of analysis like that. So, just anytime y'all do spend on that, that's I listen for those things because I don't have the budget to get an Xbox and a PS4. To tell you the truth, I don't have room in my entertainment center for both. So, it's
so
one or the other.
What do you have right now?
I've got Xbox One, and it's not an X; it's just an Xbox One.
Yeah,
and I just mainly play with my brothers and a couple of other folks.
Well, you may not have room to add it in there, but let me tell you, they always have some fantastic deals on consoles around Black Friday. They do bundle deals, and usually you can get a system with about 3 or 4 games thrown in for the cost of what a system would cost right now by itself, or even cheaper than that as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you hate you missed out on the Spider-Man game because it's not on the console you have, sometimes they're coming up here where you can get it. And I want to reiterate though that the comparison that Xbox One X was better than Red Dead Redemption was better looking on the X than it was on any of the other systems. It was not by a massive margin. The fact that it was running native in 4K is a big deal, but that only matters if you've got a 4K TV. And if you don't,
you've got to have the
if you don't, you're still on par with what a PS4 Pro can do. And the Pro by no means was some gross mess of a view playing Red Dead Redemption 2. You're perfectly fine doing that. And you've got the exclusives that are there that you may be interested in playing.
Sure. And I'll be honest with you, the first time I played Skyrim all the way through was actually on the Switch. And it's because I had that time to be able to take it around and go with it.
Well, yeah, right.
And I finally was able to, I finally played a mage. I did not sneak around with a character. Like, that's just the stereotype. Everybody gets stuck.
Right.
But no, I mean, and to be honest, I love Nintendo not just for nostalgia reasons, because there's that for sure, but their games are fun. I will say, just as an update, I played Breath of the Wild like crazy back when it first came out, and I picked it back up, I restarted it, and I don't know if it is, and I'm playing on with it docked and on the TV. I don't know if it's updates, I don't know what it is. It seems just a little bit different than what I played, but I will say that it seems a tad more laggy than it was when it first came out. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's updates. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I love Nintendo, and that's my stuff. And, anyway, I appreciate the show. It's awesome. So cool we have something like this locally.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. We're glad we got listeners like you, man.
Absolutely. Well, hey, y'all take care. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care
for calling. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys understood that I wasn't saying the Xbox One X is the best of the systems as far as Red Dead is concerned. It edges it out slightly, only if you've got a 4K television.
Yeah,
if you don't, you're fine. I currently don't, but I am very, very close to getting one. So, anyway, some of the news articles that we wanted to hit here was, we talked about, during the break, we talked about Soul Calibur 6 getting, what is her name? 2B?
2B, from Nier Automata.
Yeah. You picked up Soul Calibur 6, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Steelbook version, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, with a sound box that I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, it had a sound box in it as well.
Yeah, hit a button and the narrator starts talking.
And you're a fan of the Automata as well. So
I got the game, but I haven't got to play it yet. But I'm familiar with the character too.
Yeah. So threw that in there.
Yeah, they've obviously had guest stars in the Soul Calibur series. Well, I think one year they had Link from Zelda. They had Heihachi from Tekken.
Yeah.
And I think Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn was in a version of.
They had Spawn and Yoda and Link.
Yeah.
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 So it was on the 3 different systems. Like if you bought it on the GameCube, it
GameCube was Link.
Yeah, GameCube was Link.
PlayStation was Heihachi.
Then who got Yoda?
Was it?
Spawn was on the Xbox 3, the Xbox version, I think.
Okay.
Yoda was in it, right?
Yoda was in one. Yoda was in a Soul Calibur, one of them, and that apprentice from Star Wars, Darth Vader's apprentice, was in something like that.
Maul?
No, some short-haired guy.
Oh, from the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, from Force Unleashed. Yeah.
Yeah, so guest characters isn't a new thing for the Soul Calibur series.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not by a long shot. I was looking through some of the other news here that we had. Was that a phone? The phone's ringing again. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Hey, I don't know if you figured it out yet, but this is Weeks again. But Yoda and Vader were in Soul Calibur 3, and Soul Calibur 2 was the other 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was GameCube, Link, and then Xbox Spawn, and then the other guy, I don't know, but in PS.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I remember they were in it. I just didn't know who.
Yeah.
It may have actually been 4. I don't remember, but yeah, no. I got to get Soul Calibur 2. Anyway, bye.
All right, Mike.
Thanks, now.
That's what I love about having people listen. Like, you can throw the quickest way to get a right answer is throw out the wrong one, and I honestly didn't know. I didn't throw out the wrong one, but I'm glad that we have listeners like that who can call it and let us know.
Yeah, it's the only thing on PlayStation. So Heihachi was when I was.
So we talked about the Xbox Game Pass, and for the longest time, it's only been available on the Xbox system, but apparently Microsoft is now bringing that to the PC as well. It's, let's see, in quarterly earnings report on Wednesday, the Microsoft CEO mentioned plans to bring the subscription service Xbox Games Pass to the PC. For $10 per month, console players get access to a library of more than 200 new and old games. It'll be interesting to see how many games you get on the PC, considering they're working on building that library at the moment. Xbox games now, if it's an exclusive on the Xbox, you can also play it on PC. Gears of War, Forza, Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, what's the other one? State of Decay. They're all like cross-platform as far as PC and Xbox One. But the Games Pass was only offered on the Xbox because there's just a wealth of titles to play for the $10 a month fee. Not so much on the PC. So they're working on bringing that there. Another thing is that if you're a fan of the Room series, and I am, the Room 3, which has been out on the mobile devices for a very long time, is now getting the PC release, which I think is coming up, if it's not already out. Yeah, coming up next month. Now it'll have better looks to it because it is on PC than it is on the mobile thing. They do have a comparison there, but yeah, if you like the Room series, it's getting released. We love the Room series. We interviewed the guys who made it on the show. Fantastic game. Let's see. Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode will not be live until the spring of 2019. I thought that was interesting. That the game comes out very, very soon, but the Battle Royale mode will not be available at launch. It'll be available next year.
Any reason they gave why?
I'm going to look at the article because I didn't read it. Firestone Battle Royale won't be available. The wait, excuse me, the wait in an update that lays out their live silver. It'll begin in December with Overture, the first chapter in the game's Tides of War updates. In January comes Lightning Strikes. A date for Firestorm hasn't actually been set, however. The update says that only the Battle Royale mode will become available during spring. We knew that Firestorm wouldn't be live when they launched, but the multi-month wait is a little surprising. That is very surprising. Call of Duty's already got theirs underway. Everybody else is doing theirs. So for Battlefield 5 to release and not have it at launch, and even not even at launch, but a ways off, it's going to be a big deal for them. I don't particularly care about the Battle Royale stuff. I also don't particularly care about Battlefield. But for people who do and were excited that was going to be coming into their game, maybe some disappointment there. There might be... What's the term? Strike while the iron is hot, right?
Right.
Battle Royale mode is hot right now.
Very.
Very, very hot for a lot of reasons. And whether your game might not be hot, you put a Battle Royale mode in it, and it's going to increase your player base. At least for a little while, for people to try it out and then move on or stick with it, whatever the case may be. Not having one there at launch is just going to deter people away. They're going to stick with whatever Battle Royale mode they're playing currently, since it's not going to be there at launch. By the time it is there, the game will be at a reduced price, possibly. They can probably pick it up for cheaper. This might actually hurt them. I never really put a lot of faith into Battle Royale modes, but I can see this kind of hurting them in the long run.
Yeah.
Lethal Migraine, I'm right there with you. I'm really right there with you that I could care less about, or couldn't care less about the Battle Royale modes. But, Battlefield is fine. I've just never been, that and Call of Duty, I've just never, just never held my attention. Steam sale. We have all the dates, apparently. And there's really no reason they should hide these dates. It's not like people are going to base their purchases on like, well, I'll wait for the Steam sale. It doesn't matter. People are going to buy games when they want to buy games. Let's see. A developer source shared that the dates for both the winter and autumn sales, the autumn sale, which is another words of saying the Thanksgiving sale for the States here, the autumn sale begins on November 21st and goes until November 27th. The winter sale runs beginning December 20th and ends on January 3rd. And, yeah, the Halloween sale begins on the 29th, which is Monday, and runs to November 1st. These sales used to be an awesome thing way back in the day. They've kind of, the steam on those, not to put a pun, but the steam has gotten a little light on those things. They're not as good of a deals that I remember them being.
Yeah. Steam sales were the reason that people got like 400 or 500 games in their library
without even having a PC to play them on. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider got a deal, and a lot of people started bombarding it with bad reviews. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is being review bombed on Steam following a sale. It debuted on September 14th to a lot of positive reviews. The game has now dropped to a mixed rating after a week-long sale dropped the price by 34% for the standard edition and 47% for the special edition. 196 negative reviews when the sale started, and hundreds more logged throughout the week. It's basically early adopters who are doing this. They're really upset that the game has gone on sale so fast.
Yeah,
I understand their frustration. I don't understand the need to go and review bomb a game like that.
No.
That's yeah.
Is that the first time you've seen a reaction like that? Because there have been plenty of times when I've bought a game where I should have waited.
Yeah.
I should have waited. But
the review bomb type situation because of the sale may have been the first time. I think maybe it's happened before.
Yeah.
Just maybe not on such a high profile game. But I've been aggravated by that before.
Yeah.
I've been aggravated picking up a game and then seeing it go on sale later. It's one of the reasons I've stopped buying games in October for the most part, because of the sales that happen later on.
Yeah, like I said, there's a ton of games I bought where I should have waited on them.
Yeah, I know. So I can feel for them. One of the other games that I keep forgetting to mention that I am absolutely certain will be on sale for Black Friday is Detroit.
Should have waited on that.
Which is another game that
that's another game I should have waited on. Yeah.
However, it didn't have a price drop so soon, by the way. I mean, it did have a price drop, not necessarily too significant, but it did have a price drop, and it will in November. It will drop for Black Friday. I'm almost certain that it will.
Yeah. So, are you in the same boat I am? You've got the game.
I didn't buy it. I went out of town the weekend. The weekend it released, I went out of town. I thought, when I get back in town, I'll probably pick it up. Okay. I never did. And then I thought, might as well wait. It's going to come down in price. There wasn't a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah.
We didn't do very many shows on it. You were the only one of us who had it, but you never played it.
I haven't started it yet. I haven't even started the thing yet, which is one of many titles that I've got that I haven't started yet.
So it wasn't like we were in a position to where, hey, can we talk about this? No, we can't, because one of us hasn't. No, both haven't played it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The other news story, and it's a rumor. It is a massive rumor. It is a rumor that, and where did it go? There it is. I'm just going to read the article to you. And I don't want to try and read it word for word. But I do want to say the last paragraph. So they go into this and they write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They write about 5 to 6 paragraphs about this. And then the last paragraph starts off saying, all of this is single source and completely unverified. But the leaker on this has credibility from his previously leaked things. That's all well and good, and it means absolutely squat. So who knows if this is correct. But, and Lethal Migraine will be happy to hear about this, but Destiny 3 is in the works, according to a rumor. Apparently the new game will take us to Europa, the moon of Jupiter that's previously seen in Destiny concept arts. It will apparently put a greater focus on RPG elements and hardcore play more than the previous game. Let's see. What does he say? They also dug down a bit on how Destiny 3 will be aimed at a very different audience than Destiny 2. D2 Vanilla was Bungie's idea from the beginning. The reboot didn't change that. The game was born to be for casuals. If D3 will really have the idea they want to implement, trust me, a lot of people who play 2 hours per week will abandon the game. They are going balls out with the RPG stuff. Just know that Destiny 3 will be even more hardcore than Forsaken, and finally they're going to push the RPG side of the game. I don't know where I sit with that game. I don't feel like I'm hardcore with it. I don't feel like I'm casual, but I've never been a fan of too RPG-y type stuff. Mm-hmm. Monster Hunter, is that an RPG? What is it? What is Monster Hunter?
I guess RPG-ish.
That whole thing, like crafting up the stuff, going out finding resources, crafting up, and then going back out, that was annoying. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that I was going out there to hunt for stuff so that I could build up my suits to go back out there and hunt for more stuff so that I could just build up my suits. It did not feel like there was a... Which sounds exactly like what I do in Destiny, by the way. I go out there and I shoot stuff and I earn armor to build up my level so I can go back out there and shoot more stuff.
Monster Hunter World is a definite grind fest.
Yeah.
It is a definite grind fest.
But to what end?
To advance in the story and get bigger and better equipment.
You know?
Yeah.
For me, it's to hit the cap of my level and to be able to hit the in-game raid stuff.
Yeah.
And that's basically where it sits with me, which, by the way, I finally got my Hunter to 600. I've hit level cap on my Hunter, my main, on PC, all without playing the raid, by the way. So I've done that. And you know, now I'm working on my alts, but I feel less motivated to do anything with my Hunter now that he's up to 600.
Yeah.
Which
there's nothing more to...
But it's actually kind of a nice feeling to not feel like I got to do anything. Anyway, we're running out of time here, so we need to run.
To remind us with the Destiny 3, though, I'm just probably, if this is true, if this rumor is true, just going to wait. I mean, I'm probably going to treat, if this is true, Destiny 3, I'll probably treat it like I did the original Destiny. Yeah. Wait until you get all the stuff released, because I didn't get to Destiny 1 until the Taken King.
The Taken King, when we were all jumping on board.
Yeah.
If you do it, if it ever gets around to it, man, I hope you jump on the PC. I really do. If I'm there doing it with you, I hope it's on the PC.
Yeah. I
want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room, and thanks for everybody listening on the stream and on the radio as well. Thanks to our callers. We had Weeks call in. We had Chris and Drunk Degenerates called in as well. I want to thank everybody who shows up in the chat room. You guys are fantastic to be out there in the chat room watching and listening to us. We do appreciate it. Go to ingamechat.net and join us on Twitter. And you can also join us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our Twitch channel that we're watching, subscribe. We're on Steam. We've got our Discord up for the game. We're just all over the place. Check us out all over there. And have a fantastic week. Thank you, everyone. Matt is not going to be back next week either that I know of. So it'll be me and RJ again. But we hope to have him back so we can talk some Fallout 76, some more Red Dead. I hope he's played it. Get into all of that stuff. So... Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Saturday. This next track comes from a game called Welcome to the Game 2. It's a sequel. And I do not know exactly what it is. It has a very horror-y type soundtrack. We'll be back next week. Have a good one.